What's up, everybody? T3 here, coming at you with what we're going to call Lessons in Stalking and Natural Movement 1.5. Although the first part I'm going to talk about honestly should have came first. So if you ever took a class at the tracker school or with me, you may have heard myself, my father, and many other people say that tracking and awareness are twins that are inseparable. You cannot be a good tracker if you don't have a heightened sense of awareness, and vice versa. Oh, and I apologize for the epic soundstage I'm on. It's dumping rain and slushy out right now. Camera gear and that weather don't mix. So, but I wanted to impart this lesson to you. So yeah, tracking, we have, imagine tracking and awareness directly across from each other, connected by a line. In the last 16 years, tracking and awareness, like my father before me, are my favorite skills to work on. And the reason why is this. You don't need anything. You don't need a bow drill. You don't need a knife. You don't need raw materials. Tracking is so much more than following the footprints of an animal. Tracking, capital T tracking as I call it, is being a student of life, of being able to walk by somebody's vehicle and really quickly glance in and, much like Sherlock Holmes, deduce what the person might do for a living, things like that. And the way we cultivate these gifts is by choice, is by making that choice every day to be more aware. Every time you go into a store, make it a habit of counting how many people there are in there. Same thing with wide angle vision. When I teach my students about wide angle vision, I say, leave post-it notes everywhere if you have to. Have your phone have an alarm go off every 20 minutes saying wide angle vision to keep reminding you to go out into wide angle vision, and eventually you'll be there. So speaking of wide angle vision, if we think of tracking and awareness as an inseparable pair, over the last 16 years, I've been cultivating what I call the diamond. And the diamond is the whole of it. The diamond is the 4 points of being a truly connected human being. So, tracking, awareness, side by side. Up top, wide angle vision. Down low, stalking and natural movement, i.e., blending your movements to the ebb and flow of what's going on around you. Learning how to break free from that prison of society that teaches us that we must move fast at all times in order to get as much as we possibly can done in as short a time as possible. And it's so sad to see people go through their whole lives chasing these goals, and they get to the end and they realize that the magic was in the journey, not in the destination. Often when I'm at a store and, there's a line, the clerk will say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll be right with you." And I say, "Don't worry about it. Life is far too short to hurry." Our lifespan is infinitesimal when compared to cosmic time and natural time. And therefore, I want to squeeze every bit of it out of it as I can. And the only way I can do that is by being not only somebody who's aware, somebody who can track not only physical things, but track emotions and help us be better caretakers, knowing going into an area or coming into contact with a person, having the heightened awareness, both external and internal, to know how to best help that person. And then, of course, all the benefits of wide angle vision, constantly being in the alpha state, along with moving slowly. And especially when we go in nature, that diamond is critical, that we all learn the baseline of whatever woods or whatever piece of nature we go into most. And then we make sure our movements never break that baseline. And no matter where you go, there's a baseline, whether it's New York City or the middle of the forest. And one thing you develop after tons of dirt time and tons of time in the woods is the ability to walk into the woods. And to me, it's almost like a sine wave. You know, I can get this overall feeling for the woods and how healthy they are, how healthy the animal populations are. And this was a gift that was just bestowed to me in Alaska this past summer when I was in the most remote place I had ever been, in the most pure wilderness I had ever been in. And all of a sudden, this pattern appeared in front of me. And I learned the tools how to view that pattern from the earth. And then when I got back to Oregon and walked into the woods behind my house, there was still a beautiful pattern there, but you could see the invasive species and the things being done to the land that shouldn't have been and the effect it had. And once again, we're just scratching the surface here. And these are just but a few of the things that my father left me to ponder over a lifetime.